With every drag of a cigarette, you flood your system with thousands of chemicals that actively hijack your respiratory and cardiovascular systems. But the moment you put that cigarette out, a countdown begins. Your body doesn't require years of abstinence to start fixing the damage. It initiates an aggressive regeneration protocol the exact minute the smoke clears. Within just 20 minutes, your heart rate and blood pressure abandon the artificially high levels caused by nicotine and begin dropping back down to their normal baseline. This rapid stabilization shows us that your biology naturally defaults to a state of active repair. No matter how long you've smoked, stepping out of the way lets your body get right to work. By the 12-hour mark, the first major biological battleground shifts to your circulatory system. Carbon monoxide from cigarette smoke chemically blocks oxygen from binding to red blood cells, starving your tissues of fuel. But 12 hours after you stop smoking, carbon monoxide dissipates. Oxygen rapidly floods back into your bloodstream, nourishing your organs. Hitting the 24-hour mark, this oxygen restoration combines with nicotine flushing out of your system. As a result, your blood vessels stop constricting so tightly, allowing your blood to circulate with far less resistance. This exact mechanical sequence, clearing out a toxic gas so your vascular system can finally relax, is why your risk of suffering a heart attack drops significantly after a single day without a cigarette. Moving into the 48-hour window, the healing process expands from your bloodstream into your nervous system and your airways. This diagram illustrates frayed, damaged nerve endings throughout your body beginning to regenerate. As these neural pathways reconnect, you will likely notice a sharp reactivation in your senses of taste and smell. By 72 hours, you hit a respiratory milestone. The bronchial tubes inside your lungs finally relax and open up. The mechanical act of breathing becomes noticeably easier, and your overall lung capacity physically expands. But right at this peak moment of physical recovery, your body hits a secondary threshold. You are now 100% free of nicotine. This total deprivation triggers a neurological revolt. The sudden absence of routine chemical hits creates intense withdrawal, triggering severe cravings and physical restlessness. Experiencing these symptoms of the 72-hour mark feels terrible, but it is the ultimate biological proof of recovery. That discomfort is simply the friction of your brain actively rewiring itself back to a non-dependent state. Surviving that first week pushes your respiratory system out of crisis mode and into a long-term maintenance phase. This diagram shows your lung airway lined with microscopic cilia. Smoke paralyzes them, but without dairy toxic exposure, they wait up. Reactivated, they act like a biological broom, beating in a synchronized wave to sweep dead cells, tar, and mucus out of your respiratory tract. Alongside this physical clearance, your nervous system begins to stabilize. The constant, intense chemical cravings from the first few days degrade into infrequent, manageable bursts. This physical sweeping of the lungs and the calming of the mind marks the critical threshold where you transition from acute survival into long-term recovery. When we zoom out from days and weeks to look at the timeline over years, we can see exactly how this cellular repair impacts your risk for systemic disease. This graph tracks cardiovascular risk over time. It shows that exactly 1 year after quitting, your risk of developing coronary heart disease drops by 50% compared to an active smoker. 10 years out, the risk of developing and dying from lung cancer is cut in half, as precancerous cells are completely replaced by healthy tissue. The human body is a highly resilient machine, engineered for aggressive self-repair. The severe damage caused by smoking is reversible. You just have to put out the cigarette and let the healing process run its course.